Welcome back to our station. So in this video, we will be going through the All England 2025 lineups, and let's get to it. So this slide shows the past performance of all the men's singles since their very first participation in All England. As you can see here, Victor Axelsen and Shi Yuqi are actually, and even Nizija are among the top performers. Now, how these scores work is that I have recorded, as long as they manage to make it to quarterfinal, they'll get 1 point. Semi-finals, 2 points. Final, 4 points. And if they are the champion of the All England, then they'll get 8 points. So I sum them all up, and as you can see, Victor Axelsen and Shi Yuqi is by far the most consistent in terms of showing good performance at All England. But this is considering their entire experience in All England. But if you consider only the past 5 years, actually Lee Zijia is the most consistent player because he is the only one who can make it to at least the quarterfinals since his very first participation in All England. So in terms of of course, we do not want to rule out the defending champion, Jonathan Christie, but this is just their past performance, which may not guarantee their future performance. Now, if you look at the draw, at the top half of the quarter, barring any major upset, we do expect to see Shi Yuqi right here against probably Li Zijia, right, barring any upset. But you never know because men's singles is quite uncertain. It's quite volatile. Any player also can actually make it, right, as a chance to go for it. Now, in the second quarter, we do expect to see perhaps Jonathan Christie over here. I think Jonathan Christie has had quite a good run in All England. But yeah, so very, I think Jonathan would be the favorite to advance from this quarter. Perhaps right here, maybe Li Shifeng, right? We never know. The third quarter, we do expect to see Victor Axelsen will be the hot favorite to advance from this quarter. At the top, perhaps it's a bit difficult, but maybe I would go for Lee Chok Yu. I think he has been good, having some good runs recently. The fourth quarter, we do expect, I do expect to see Anders to be able to make an impact. And at the top part, perhaps it could be Kumnavut. Having said all that, I think at the end of the day, I do expect to see a clash between these two, simply because they have had very good past performance in All England. We have the defending Olympic champion. We have the world top #1 player. So I do see that they will clash in the finals. But at the end of the day, my pick would be Shi Yuqi. I think if you look at the recent form, the recent performance, I think Shi Yuqi has had the upper hand against Victor. So this would be my pick. Now, in the women's singles, again, I'm doing it the same thing. And if you go by past performance alone, we do expect to see Yamaguchi, Chen Yufei, right, Internon, and maybe An Se-young. So these four players would probably have a shot if judging just by their past performance. But let us look at the main draw. Now, if you look at the top quarter, the hot favorite would definitely be An Se-young, right? And unfortunately, Chen Yufei would be clashing with An Se-young as early as the quarterfinals, right? So this is a little unfortunate, but you never know. Now, if this match is going to happen, it would be a 50-50 clash because Chen Yufei has had quite a decent head-to-head record against An Se-young, and Chen Yufei also has just slowly coming back to active tournaments. So after a long hiatus, so we do expect to see a good match here. An Se-young, I don't need to explain much. She has been an all-rounder. So yeah, the second quarter, at the top half, now Akane probably would be the favorite, but I do not want to rule out Yeon Chun because she has been showing some very good uh, set of results recently. So I would not rule out Yeon, but yeah, Akane would still be my favorite. At the bottom half, perhaps it would be Tomoka Miyazaki. Ratchanok may have a shot, you never know, but at the end, I think Tomoka will still have the upper hand. So this again will be a very interesting clash. If we go to the third quarter, we do expect to see perhaps Gregoria Mariska Tunjung might be my pick. At the bottom, it would be perhaps Han Yu. And the fourth quarter, I think I'm going for Ponpawi against perhaps Wang Zi. Now, at the end of the day, in the finals, or even who I would pick to win this tournament, right? I think in the finals, my pick would be Ponpawi against An Se-young, but the champion ultimately is still An Se-young. So that is my pick for the women's singles. We go to the men's doubles. It's quite chaotic because many scratch pairs coming in and out, especially from Korea. So this may not be a true reflection, but if you go by strictly by the past performance, the double A, Alfian and Adianto, may seem to be the most consistent pair, followed by Aaron Chia and So Yik. Now, if you go into the draws, so at the top quarter, men's doubles is, I think, is easily the most competitive sector, so it's very difficult to tell. But my vote would go to Daniel Martin and Shohibun Fikri, and the other half would be quite an open contest. So I don't know, man. Perhaps it would be Ben and Shot. Yeah. So this would be my pick. The second quarter, it would be perhaps Liang Weikang and Wang Chang. I think they would be going all out in this tournament because this could potentially be their last their last tournament together as a pair, because the next one, the Swiss Open, they will be split, right? So Wang and Liang would be the pair to watch out for sure. At the bottom half, it's very difficult to. Naturally, I would pick Aaron Chia and So Wei, but as you can see, in their performance in the French Open has been nothing but a disaster. Very, very likely due to Aaron Chia's old injury is coming back to haunt him again. So taking that into consideration, of course, you can also argue that Aaron Chia and So Wei also did fairly well in All England because they were twice the runner-up, I think, in All England. So, but still, judging from their recent form, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to tell. Third quarters, the top half, I think Jiting and Ren Xiangyu may have quite a clear path to the quarterfinals. Now, at the bottom half of this page, Alfian and Ardianto will be the hot favorite. For the bottom quarter, this is where things get really interesting because there are actually three very strong pairs to make it, right? At the top half, I think easily it would be Safik and Chirac. Now at the bottom is something that is very difficult to pick, right? Um, Kim Won-ho and Seo Seung-jae, or Go Si-fei and Izudin. So this is going to be the most difficult. And in fact, Dechapol, I don't think he has a good chance because he performed much better with Supak Jongko. So with Kedron, it will be a bit difficult to go past the very in form, very on form Kim Won Ho and Seo Seung Jae. Now, between these two, I don't know who to pick, but if either of these pair can make it, right? Yeah, so that is why you can see it's I'm very divided, right? At the top half, it could be Wang Chang or it could be Daniel Fikri, right? But at the other side, although they are in the same quarter, right? But I still think that if Izudin or Gosafe wins, then they will very likely to go all the way to the final. And if Seo Seung-jae or and Kim Won-ho able to make it to the final, I think either one of these two pairs will be my pick for the overall champion. Going to the women's doubles, again, it's another chaotic, um, a very messy sector because many of the top pairs are being split, especially notably from China. You can see the obvious absence of Jia Yifan and Chen Jingchen. And Koreans are also experimenting with new pairs and yeah, Japan as well. But if you look at just the past performance, it seems like Nami Matsuyama and Shiharu Shida, as well as Baek Hana and Lee So-hee, who clash in the All England 2024 finals. So will they be clashing again in the finals of 2025? As you can see in my previous video, there could be such possibility. Now let's go into the draws. At the top quarter, very likely we will see Baek Hana and Lee So-hee to advance, but we expect to see some resistance from Zhang Shuchen and Jia Yifan, right? But I still pick Lee and Baek. At the bottom part, there really isn't much of a strong pair, but perhaps Lee and Luo will be able to make it. The second quarter, the second quarter is actually rather clear path. Immediately, I can see Yuki Fukushima and Mayu Matsumoto to be the hot favorite to book the quarterfinal slot. At the upper half, it would be Rin Iwanaga and Ki Nakanishi to actually advance. So it will be an all Japanese affair, very likely. Third quarter, we have Siti Fadia and Apriani Rahayu making a comeback as a pair after some short. I think ever since Rahayu has suffered injury, they have stopped playing as a pair for quite a while. But we do expect to come back and very likely to clash with Politan and Tina. So it will be very, very difficult to tell. But my pick would be Pearly, Tina, right? Perhaps due to their, well, they have made into the quarterfinals before in the All England. So, well, that if perhaps that could be a slight edge to them, right? At the bottom, it will be Nami Matsuyama and Chiharu Shida to be the clear favorite. And if they do clash, definitely Nami and Shida will have the upper hand because of their very, very healthy head-to-head record against Pearly and Tina. The fourth quarters, at the top half, my pick will go to Kim and Kong, right? They are very strong this year. And at the bottom, it will be Liu and Tan. Now, having said that, at the end of the day, I do see that this would be the four semi-finalists. Now, you may notice the absence of Lee Shun and Tan Ning. Yep, they could make it here, but judging by the recent form, they might be stopped by Kim and Kong, right? Now, this would be the four semi-finalists. Now, who would I pick to be the overall champion? Well, you might be surprised. I might be going with Yuki Fukushima and Mayu Matsumoto simply because they have, I think, the easiest route, right? If you go back, they have the easiest route to the quarterfinals. So that could give them perhaps slightly more energy and more stamina to uh, eke it out against Lee and Beck and eventually in the finals as well. Now, in the mixed doubles, you can see that there is no chart to record or capture their past performance simply because mixed doubles is easily the most chaotic section, the most chaotic sector because China has picked their top pairs, Korea has totally dissolved their former top pairs, and Japan is doing the same as well, I think, with the absence of Yuta Watanabe. And yeah, so a lot of instabilities, a lot of volatility. So that is why I chose not to put down the bar chart. But if you look at the top draw, the top quarters, yes, surprisingly, we have Malaysians as the top seed. I think this is somewhat a history for Malaysian badminton. But I do see that they will have a very, very hard time to advance past even the first stage itself because they will be clashing the most consistent, the strongest pair of the year, I think, Dechapol and Supisara Pesampran. So definitely, I will be going for Dechapol and Supisara for the to book the first quarterfinal slot. At the bottom quarterfinal slot, I would be going for the fresh from the oven scratch pair of China, right? Jiang Zhenbang and Wang Dongping. So this clash will be very interesting. Like it will be very, very interesting. And to me, this is supposed to be happening in the finals, not at the quarterfinals, but it is what it is, right? And the second quarter, we don't see that many of a strong contender. But perhaps right here, Tom Bickel and Delphine Leroux could have the quite a clear pathway to the quarterfinals. For your information, the Malaysian pair of Han Keming and Lai Peijing will be making their final outing as a pair in the BWF World Tours. So they'll be going. I think Tan Keming is retiring, and Lai Peijing will be still pursuing perhaps with another partner, right? Maybe very likely would be, yeah. We'll watch out for her, okay? At the bottom half of this page, my pick would be the Koreans, Ki Dong-ju and Jung Na-yoon. All right. Yes, they are still fresh from the oven. They are just formed together, but you never want to rule any Korean pairs out, especially the mixed doubles and yeah, women's doubles, right? The third quarters, we don't see much of a problem for Hiroki Miyurikawa and Natsu Saito to book the first quarterfinals slot. And at the bottom part, perhaps I would be going with yet another Korean scratch pair, newly formed, but you can see that they are already making an impact. Lee Jungmin and Choi Yu-jung has already made it to the semi-finals of the French Open as of the time of the recording, right? And the bottom quarter, we do see Feng Yanze, the other top scratch pair from China being paired with Wei Ya Xing. Very likely will be taking on. This is going to be slightly difficult to tell. It all depends on the outcome of this match. Chen Tangyan and Toyi Wei has had a disastrous performance in the French Open. And they are going to clash again with the same opponent. So we never know. But Rehan and Gloria has had quite a good run in French Open. They made it to the semi-finals at least as at the time of this recording. So maybe with that in mind, since Chen Tangyan and Toyi has more rest time, so perhaps my pick would be Chen Tangyan and Toyi, right? So my final pick for the overall champion, yes, I am still going to go with either one of these two pairs, right? Despite them clashing in the quarterfinals instead of the final, simply because I think these two pairs are the pairs to watch out for this year. And at the end of the day, my pick would be Hong Dongping and Jiang Zhenbao, right? Simply because Dechapol, he's playing in the men's doubles as well, so his energy level might be slightly lower, and that would give an advantage to Hong Dongping and Jiang Zhenbao. So that is all. Thank you for watching. Please comment below, like and subscribe.